Okay, here we go. What's going on? We're going through the Pisces full moon. I'm feeling absolutely amazing. I'm getting some body movement early in the part. Here's my interpretation of the Pisces full moon, how you can benefit from it. Before I move any forward, definitely you want to like, you want to subscribe. Why? The biggest benefit is I'm teaching you how to create an incredible sex life leveraging astrology, okay? And one of the ways that this is going to play into it is your relationships. This Pisces full moon has a major impact on how you relate in your bonds with other people, especially because right now we have Mercury in the sky in Libra, we got Mars in Libra, and Venus just went to Scorpio. Venus all about the marriage, soulful connections, and we're going to talk a little bit about Venus and Scorpio and how that is right now in opposition of Uranus and Taurus, which all that really means is, you know, we got some contrast coming in with money, some big surprises coming in with money, how we attract the money, how we share the money within our partnerships. And so all of that money, how much does money play into your relationship, right, with your lover, your partner? How much? Most of the divorces that exist in the United States is because of money issues. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and how this Pisces full moon as a full is going to some way, somehow impact your sex life, whether it is to improve it and create for the better, which is obviously what I hope for, or if it is going to be something that stifles your sex life, which is what I don't hope for, because that would suck. Okay, here we go. Pisces full moon. One of the first things I want to make as something very clear is Pisces is the last zodiac out of the wheel. Okay, you have 12 zodiacs, so Pisces coming to the end. So when you come to a full moon illumination, which is already things collectively coming into light as it ends, aka as we let things go, it's going to be a little bit more dramatic, especially for the fact that it's at 28 degrees of Pisces, okay? At 29 degrees of Pisces, one more degree, the sign begins to start its anaretic degree, where things just go and boom, blows up, shit hits the fan. It's just what it is in astrology, a 29th degree, anaretic degree. So right now, being at 28 and already being the last zodiac, whatever you are required to let go right now and balance between the mundane world and Virgo, all right, your daily responsibilities. You could check the new moon in Virgo video that I put up right here. That will really show you more about the mundane, and I put 3 writing prompts in that. So if you want to get active in these videos, I'm really working with being active. This is some of my ways of intuitive healing on this channel, why you should subscribe. It's not just about creating an incredible sex life leveraging astrology, but it's about the intuitive healing that I'm going to be implementing more and more. And all of these things ultimately expand you sexually, have you to enjoy your sex life at an all-time high. So we're talking relationship, we're talking Pisces. Pisces, we got to break down the archetype just a little bit. And Pisces is compassion, unconditional love, right? We're talking relationship. So in your relationships, you're going to come to a full illumination of what unconditional love looks like, of where the boundaries in your relationships and where your boundaries absolutely just do not exist. All right. So a lot of times Virgo, the twin and evil sister of Pisces, even though I think Pisces is the twin evil sister, really, Virgo is the earth, the mundane world. It's how we master our daily things that keeps us grounded here on earth, between our finances and taking the trash out. Like I took the trash out this morning on Mondays. Virgo is the one that gets all the things in order. One of the things that's really important, and you check this in my last Virgo new moon video, Virgo needs, in order to be emotionally safe and feeling secure, they need to take everything that is disorganized and chaotic in their life, and they need to create structure and create order. All right, earth sign, Virgo earth sign, creating structure, creating order, something to focus on sustainability. All right, if you're not on some kind of a schedule for taking your trash out, if you're not on some kind of schedule for checking your emails, or the time that you go to work, whatever it is, all the daily mundane things you have to deal with, eating food or not eating food, which we're going to talk about fasting in this video and where it can benefit you. All of these things absolutely matter. They just matter. Pisces on the opposite side, where the full moon is at, and part of the requirement is I'm so excited. Release, isolation, letting go in complete detachment. Okay, Detachment, you know, finding a ways for us to really not have our personal feelings involved. All right, even though Pisces could potentially have their personal feelings involved because they, the human has devolved, right, from 360 senses to just 5 senses, where it's magical to talk about, oh, the 6th sense. All right, smell, touch, nose, ear, sight. 360 senses we've devolved. Pisces is the one that has access to all of this. All right, I would even argue that Scorpio has a lot too, and even Cancer, because of the fact that they're water signs and they have insight into not just illusions, not just the spirit realm, but all the energies surrounding them. All right, they can feel all that. So recognize that it has come now to a full completion. Right now is a time where imagination is something in the pineal gland, which is in charge of our imagination, this third eye, right? This is also science, bringing in magic and science. This is the intuitive healing. It's really important. I did a meditation series for 7 days, right? And I think it's critical. Like, I put the Om vibration and frequency on there. It's a 136 10 hertz Om vibration frequency, and I think it's major. You should check in with that meditation video. I'll try to put up a couple right here. That Om heats up the pineal gland, which is part of what Pisces is responsible for. Pisces is really responsible for the feet, all right? But also for the pineal gland, imagination, intuition, access to the infinite, to the unknown, to things with no boundaries, no barriers. If you think space-time continuum, everything in space and how expansive it is and how it doesn't have any endpoint, and you can transport through dimensions and go to Sirius, the moon, the sun, and all this other stuff, is like, this is Pisces. Pisces has the ability to, at the snap of a finger, detach from all of the humanly mundane earthly things and just go into his imagination, into the place of the unknown, to the place of infinite possibilities. You know, Joe Dispenza talks a lot about this. You can check in with Joe Dispenza. So right now, what we're being required for in this full moon at the end 28 degrees is balancing Virgo and Pisces. Virgo and Pisces. How much do you need to be in the real world, and when is it becoming overwhelming and you're being too analytical like Virgo would be? You need to be less analytical and adopt some more of the Pisces ways, which is kind of just absolutely detached, you know, flowing around the world. Pisces, you know, Pisces is the, whoa, I almost slipped and fell. Pisces is the one that just, like, you know, frolics around the world and just kind of does all that. That's Pisces. Pisces is a frolicker. Virgo is still worried about, did it do the dishes before it left the house, and oh crap, it did the dishes but it forgot one spot on the dish. So you know what I mean, like, this is really what's part of coming to completion. I took some mini notes that I want to check in with. One of them was actually fasting. If you want to, in my personal opinion, maximize this, today I am fasting. If you want to maximize this, the human body is on earth, right? This is Virgo. Pisces is basically a fucking infinite spirit that just has always existed, like all the constellations and the stars, right? They always existed in their own way. But Virgo is here, Pisces is there, and in order for us to access our spiritual power, access our empathy and all of the invisible 360 senses that we have, I really recommend you fast. I have a fasting video I did here back in Bali. I think a 56-hour dry fast. Today I've already drank water, and I've already brushed my teeth, so I'm not at the dry fast, but I really recommend it. I might even continue that dry fast after, to help all the extra mucus get out of your body, to help the sickness get out of your body. Today, Mondays, I started doing a new spiritual practice. All right, this is my first Monday doing it. A new spiritual practice where I love cooking. I have a Cancer and Mars in the 8th house. I love cooking, especially for my partner. Right now, we're even got in a fight because I'm like, we've already recognized that fasting is so critical. And as a way to do charity, which Leo would represent partially charity, as well as Pisces just being overly compassionate, I'm gonna cook the same meals that I will cook. Every time I'm ready to eat, I'm hungry, I'm gonna cook it. I'm gonna really help myself with the space of self-discipline, and also allow myself to get into my imagination and remove some of the blocks from my pineal gland, from my imagination, where I can create anything and I'm gonna go give out my meals as charity. I'm gonna go give out my gourmet cooked meals as charity. I almost want to put some of the meals here so you know that I'm really being serious about like, yo, I'm a master fucking chef. Like, this is what I do. And so it's a really big step for me, and it's also a new spiritual practice I'm gonna do every Monday. I live here in Medellin, Colombia, and it's like there's so many people that are hungry, so many people. So I don't need to get to a certain point of money to start doing charity, right? I don't need to get to being able to give $10,000 out. I need to be able to be charitable right now. So I really recommend fasting, and if not that, find a spiritual practice. All right. What is going to be your spiritual practice? Right now, it's a beautiful time to implement a new spiritual practice. Meditation. I have some of the videos. You should check out my 7-day meditation series. It's free. If you did all 7 days, I'm giving away a free natal reading, all right, up until October. So next month, the last month, I got the trash coming. The mundane human task, right? So I'm gonna take a breath. All right, so now I'm gonna check in with my notes. I highly recommend fasting. I have a fasting video. All right, deep, spiritual, and body release. Okay, so don't fight this, ladies and gentlemen. When a full moon comes, it will find a way to bring the illumination. It will force you to look at what you need to release out of your life. What was once serving you that just is not serving you anymore, okay? For me, I think food was a part of it, right? Like, I was really big on, for me, food, like, of never letting somebody else go hungry and never starving myself anymore. Because I feel like there was a point in my life where I used to starve myself because I falsely believed that I didn't have the money or the means to do it. And I really just starved myself in a way where I would eat the same thing daily. I was disobeying my superpowers to cook, and I'd have a fucking egg sandwich with like 3 cheeses and bread, like bread, egg, cheese, bread, egg, cheese, bread, egg, cheese. It'd be all I would have in my fridge when I was in college, right? Now, we can all argue in college like shit's different and, you know, it's just something like bread, egg, cheese, and alcohol. But I know that for me, it was coming from a different place, right? It was coming from a place of I felt like I couldn't really afford to do anything more than that. That may have actually honestly been true, but for me right now, one of the releases is the idea of that, and that by not eating food, I'm in this poor mindset, rather than by fasting, especially intentionally for a spiritual practice, like, and for charity, that I am giving myself an opportunity to decalcify my pineal gland and tap into my imagination. I'm getting a chance to be very clear in my finances. We have a lot of money things coming up. When now Scorpio, the money axis is Taurus and Scorpio, right? Uranus is in Taurus, Scorpio is now in Venus. I think when it hits 16 degrees Scorpio, you're gonna have a conjunction. So you can expect a surprise on that day, a couple days after the September 20th Pisces full moon. Okay, real quick, we have a Pisces Full Moon workshop coming where it's actually going to be a celebration. You're going to be focusing on dancing and celebrating all the releases, okay? We spent enough time down in the ditch. We're going to get back to this Pisces Full Moon video, but I want to let you know, down in the link below, September 20th, we're going to have a Pisces Full Moon celebration with my partner, okay? Thanks for checking in. You can expect that. So I would say really honor that and prepare yourself. Maybe in this time you don't make any major financial investments, or maybe it's a time you do make major financial investments for sometime after September 20th, September 21, depending on where you are in the world. It will be a good time to look into your rising sign and even your sun sign. I recommend like Rux Astrology. Should give you insight on like, are you in a space where you should be moving, or you should be expecting an unexpected expense, all right? This is what I love about astrology. And again, this also helps you create a better sex life, an incredible sex life. Why? Because like, yo, we talked about it earlier, divorce and separation comes a lot from financial matters, right? Like people get stressed about money. Pisces don't give a fuck about money. So this is one of the things that you probably be releasing right now. Like your over attachment to money could be coming up. You know, you could look at Pisces in your own particular chart. Mine's in the 4th house. So I could look at like even from an ancestral standpoint, right? Ancestors is 4th house. I had to learn to let go of the generational conditioning and the guilt behind me getting up and growing, not just my YouTube channel or something creative for me. Because right now, all about Pisces Full Moon is about being creative. It's extremely creative. It's time to sing. It's time to dance. It's time to act in theater. It's time to fucking float into the stars in your meditations. Like, September 20th is big in my personal opinion. It's kind of like really what's ending the summer. And it's gonna require a little bit of isolation. You may notice more isolation. We're going a lot of energy in the sky into Scorpio, which loves to be alone, loves to be in the dark, loves to be hidden, loves to think about its hidden desires. So Pisces is also a super duper freak. I will tell you that right now. I think people pretend like Pisces aren't some of the freakiest fucking signs that exist in the zodiac. I quite frankly think that Pisces is the right kind of nasty. They're the right kind of nasty. All you gotta do is touch their feet, and you know, Pisces represents the feet, just touch their feet and they gonna wild out. Or like my lady, she a lot of times she'll like touch and rub my third eye, rub this eye. Like that's again Pisces. That's me like really activating, you know, my ancestors. I really feel like that. Like when I think about it, it's just really hitting me right now. It helped me access my private life, you know, my subconscious mind. Pisces is also part of the subconscious mind. So this is why beautiful things are created in that space of the subconscious mind. So I want to check back in. Really check the balance of your spirit and your body and what's going to be released. And recognize there's going to be some developments in your money, all right? Because Uranus and Taurus during this Pisces full moon is happening along with Scorpio and Venus. Venus is like about our attachments. So check in with what your attachments are looking like with your money, all right? Are you looking at money as from a place of lack? Are you looking at money and you're attached to it from a place of abundance? You're attached to the abundance of the money? Are you looking at it and, you know, for me, like I have a Capricorn North Node in the 2nd house, which is like I'm growing to understand my values. So recognize it's not just money, but it's your values. Like what do you need to let go of that once served you, something you valued about yourself once upon a time. The resources and how you shared your resources, Scorpio on the other side, 8th house, they are at one point in time. And what is finally just letting itself go? You know what I mean? Like what is letting itself go? I think it's time for that. Highly recommend fasting either now or on the day of, to just get away, help your spirit escape your body in a healthy and an intentional way. Because otherwise I feel like a lot of time what happens with these moon cycles is, and where disruptions in your relationships come, is people are forced to do it. It's more abrupt because they didn't take the heat, they didn't take the warning, or they didn't work in the cycles, or they try to pretend that they were bigger than the fucking sun and Neptune and Jupiter and all these planets out there. And it's like, you're not bigger than the moon, bro. You're not bigger than the moon, lady. You know, it has power over you. The moon has power over water, right? Which is intuition, psychic powers, empathy, so much more. It has power over water. The ocean, 70% of your body has power over water. So when you really look at it, it's like, and it's also Pisces, so it's like it crosses every boundary, right? So like Virgo season is coming to a close. All those physical boundaries are really leaving. So don't be too far up into this space as well, because we still have to live in reality. We still have to live inside this body, which means we have to take care of it, which is why I highly recommend fasting for one of these. That's one of my spiritual practices, and doing it in a space of charity. So yeah, gain the clarity on your boundaries, and then recognize as well there's going to be a grand earth trine, which is really helping us with our long-term commitments, all right? But that grand earth trine has a Mars in Libra in its detriment because it's naturally in Aries. So what that means is like, be aware of being resentful. Be aware of being resentful from what you do and how you do it, especially for your partners or your one-on-one relationships, which a lot of what 7th house represents. Be aware of what you don't find is fair. That is a vulture on top of my head. The synchronicities are all around us. And this is, you know, vulture, from what I can remember, and it's like sneezing, it's kind of scary. From what I remember, it's like, you know, recognize the scraps, right? Vultures are scavengers. That thing is really sneezing. They're scavengers. So I want to give this download real quick. A lot of times they come and they show you that you already have the things that you need right now. You may not have exactly everything that you want, all right? You may not have all of your desires at its pinnacle and to fruition. You may not have fully manifested it yet, but I think that by taking some isolation intentionally, by managing the balance, whoa, that motherfucker is big. He's scary. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I thought he was coming down on me. Whoa. but he actually just turned directions. So, check in with the resentment in this grand earth trine. Check in with your long-term commitments and the things that you're building. Right now you have Aquarius and Jupiter. You have Gemini and the North Node, which Gemini North Node is asking us to start really communicating, to ask more questions, to get very curious about all the crazy shit happening in the world. Get curious, start asking questions. Jupiter really rewarding us for our hard intellectual work that we put down, the foundations, the ways that we expand our intellect, our knowledge. I think Saturn is there as well, so it's like the ways we intellectually grow our structures. And Libra and Mars, which is saying, like, you know, check in for the resentment, check in for where you may give in too simply, too easily to others, and recognize that, you know, you have really good judgment. You know, you have a good judgment. So this is major right now in the moment. But to finish this off, Pisces full moon, baby. Really, I think that's about it right there. So I recommend you check in with my Virgo full moon video, my Virgo new moon video. It was September 7th, September 6th, depending on where you are in the world. This is the Pisces full moon interpretation from me, Pernell Bobby, helping you to look to create a better sex life. Because again, I think money and working with astrology and learning these cycles, like money plays into your sex life, right? Mars and Libra plays into your sex life of make sure you're not being resentful, and in your one-on-one relationships or with your partnerships or people you're married with, make sure you're not finding yourself resentful by betraying yourself, by doing something that crosses your boundaries. Right now is the time to learn where the healthy boundaries need to be set, and they are, where the escape from all the boundaries need some space so that you can take in these spiritual downloads, right? Fasting is one of the things I just really recommend. It's just so fresh on my mind because it's Monday. I feel clear. I'm already want food, I'll be honest, but I can recognize that my attachment to food as well. Like, I'm attached, I gotta be honest, like I'm attached to it, which is why it's so, such a big thing for me, and also a charity. So look at where you can be more compassionate and recognize that right now the pineal gland and this Pisces full moon is gonna be at an activated point. Because when shit hits 29 degrees, 1 degree after the full moon, probably 1 to 2 days or so later, or maybe even the same day later and the day after it hits, on this Pisces full moon, you got major fucking downloads, and like the downloads need space and time, and you need people to just shut up around you. You need to go sit and connect with nature, because your access to all things spiritual, all things downloads, the vulture, whatever, is gonna be very, very clear. So this is my interpretation of Pisces full moon. I thank you for joining me. I thank you for checking in. I want to say I love you. Pernell Bobby, hit the subscribe. If you're rocking with this, I'm looking to help you create an incredible sex life, leveraging astrology. Boundaries and relationships are major. When they're too strong or when they're not strong enough. A lot of times mine wasn't strong enough. My ladies was too strong. And we're finding our way to release the things that no longer matter and find that balance between our body and our spirit in order for us to be at a happy middle point where we're not creating resentment in our relationship. So here's why I think you can use the Pisces full moon in the space of your relationships to create a better sex life. And I just want to say I fucking love you. I'm super duper close to that 1,000 subscriber mark. That's dope. Even closer, not really, all the way to my 4,000 hours. So thank you for that as well, for watching these videos. Check in with my meditation series, the 7-day meditation series. It's a great way, I think, during this full moon. Right now we got about 7 days actually to line up to the Pisces full moon, and that could be benefiting you. Love, I'll see you soon, baby.